Yo, welcome to the show where the energy's flown. It's your boy dropping heat. This is the Ozone. Step into the arena where legends are made. From the courts to the fields, watch the highlights played. Football, hoops, baseball, it's all fair game. If it's sports, we bring the fire, put respect on the name. Stats and debates, we break it all down. From the rookies to the goats who wear the crown. No halftime, all grind, we're setting the tone. It's prime time, baby, you're in the Ozone. Yo, it's passion, precision, the plays we dissect. From the underdogs, grinding to the Hall of Fame vets. This is more than a podcast, it's a sports throne. Let's kick it off right, welcome to the Ozone.
You have entered the Ozone with Omar and Dave.
Let's go, baby. We are here. You guys are officially entered the Ozone. It's your boy Omar here. We got a jam-packed show. Russell Wilson and the Giants. Yankees, Mets start the season. The Knicks got me looking perfect. And we talking big bats, because that seems to be the big topic of discussion this week. But you know your boy can't tap into any of this breaking news or whatever you want to call it without my co-host, super producer Dave himself. Brother, it's a new week. How we feeling?
You know, I kind of want to eat crow. Last week I was talking about us not, no bombs in the Bronx, and I think I hope they save some for today. At the time of this recording, I hope they save some for today because the Bronx is bombing right now.
Oh yeah,
But
the Bombers look back. The
let,
Bombers
let's
look
let's
back.
let's start the show. I want to talk about these Yankees, but we got other stuff to cover first.
Let's dive into it, guys. The title of the show is "Let's Get DangeRuss," because that's what the Giants are doing. Because the Giants this past week, as we know, signed Russell Wilson, and this got some Giant fans worried. It's got this Giants fans confused. It's funny because I feel like maybe I should say how I feel because I'm the Giants fan, but I want an outside perspective on this, brother. As a Patriot fan, well, you guys, I would say we were like in the same situation, but you guys got your franchise quarterback with Drake May. What was your initial thoughts on Russell Wilson going to the New York Giants?
So I like it for a few reasons. One, you didn't get Aaron Rodgers. I feel like that's something that would have handicapped your season. Yeah, I think he as a player is great when he's healthy, but he hasn't been in some time. And at his age, you factor that in, and it's just let's move on from Aaron Rodgers. I'm thankfully that you guys did not sign him for your sake. You guys have been through enough issues these past couple of years. But when it comes to Russell Wilson, like it's not like, you guys got a guy who has been a franchise guy before. He knows how to play the game. And if you want to go off the stats, I'll read the stats off for you. He played 11 games last year. He threw for 2,482 yards. He threw 16 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. They had a good season with the Steelers. Career-wise, the guy has thrown for 46,135 yards, 350 touchdowns, and 111 interceptions. I take that ratio any day. Now, Russell Wilson is not the same guy that he was when he started off. And you know that when he was coming out of the league, when we were talking about like guys who should be starting right away, Russell Wilson was that guy I told you, like he should be starting. Go figure, I knew something at the time. But I am happy with the decision you guys made because you guys still have a chance to go and draft somebody and have him learn under Russell Wilson. So we'll see how that shakes up. But this has implications that also affect the draft and me and my Patriots. So how do you feel as
Yeah,
a fan?
I have been seeing something that's regarding the pick. You guys got the fourth pick, right?
We have the fourth pick. We're right
Yeah.
after you.
Yeah, so I did hear some things. I know some Giant fans have made some mock trades or potentially maybe trading, swapping with you guys and taking additional picks so you guys can, I don't know, get maybe Travis Hunter or get the kid from Penn State. Not sure yet. What I'll say is this. One, he signed a 1 year, $10.5 million deal. Everybody goes, oh, you gave Russell Wilson 21.5. That's what he can possibly earn, brother. And that's what incentives. If he's getting 21.5 million from the Giants, I would like to think that means the Giants are going to have a pretty good season. Now, I'm not sure what the details are in the incentives. I'm pretty sure it's probably yardage completions and touchdowns and that sort of things. Maybe wins might be factored into that into the possible incentives. But if Russell Wilson were to get the 21.5 million, it's safe to say the Giants are going to have a good season with him. Now, the Giant fans, they want to beef about what does this do with the draft? Oh, we're instantly not going to go with a quarterback. I don't think that's the case. Right now, the Giants come in with the depth chart with Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Tommy Cutlets, Tommy DeVito. Why do people think Tommy DeVito is untouchable? I don't understand that. You know what I mean? Russell Wilson's on a 1-year deal. Jameis Winston's on a 2-year deal. This doesn't automatically eliminate the Giants' possibilities of getting a quarterback. If anything, I think this amplifies it even more, in my opinion, because now you have two veterans. Now there's no rush to bring in to or instantly start a Shador Sanders or possibly Cam Ward if he gets down to us at 3. I don't think Cleveland's drafting a quarterback, so I do think Shador Sanders will be available to the Giants. But I think this opens up an avenue to go either way. Either if you want to go Shador, or you go, you know what, let's get the best possible player in the draft, whether it be Travis Hunter, or I'm so sorry, I just can't draw that.
Abdul
The
Carter?
name, the kid, huh?
Abdul Carter?
Abdul Carter from Penn State. So that's the thing. I think it gives now the thing with this franchise is very different, brother, right? Where Joe Shane and Brian Dable are on their last legs. They need to have we need to see progression in this season, this upcoming season. And they still have never drafted their quarterback, this regime. This is why I think they still go Shador Sanders. This is why I think they still go either Cam Ward too if he's available. I'm saying Shador because I think Cam Ward does get drafted by Tennessee. The more and more as we get closer to the draft, the more and more you see that Tennessee, one, teams are not clamoring to get the number 1 pick, and I really think the whole Chicago Bears, Carolina, Bryce Young, Caleb Williams thing really shook NFL on that. Maybe they're not as confident in Cam Ward, but I do think he'll be number 1. I think Shador Sanders is going to come to the Giants. Bovado had tweeted, as we know, as you guys maybe don't know, Bovado is America's favorite sports book. They don't sponsor us, but we'll love to take a sponsor from them. Their odds is that they still have the Giants selecting Shador Sanders, even with the signing of Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. What I want to see as a fan, brother, what I personally want to see, I want to see Baby Prime. I've been very vocal about that. I do want to see him. This is not the first time the Giants have done it. 2004, the Giants brought in Kurt Warner, a washed up at that time quarterback, and he played the first few games of the season, and then we incorporated Eli Manning, and as we say, the rest is history. But Kurt Warner also then had a resurgence in his career after he left the Giants. So I'm not ruling out Russell Wilson being washed. As you touched on, brother, those numbers were decent. Those numbers are better than anything we had last season. So I don't understand why the Giants fans want to be all picky. My man, you know what we had in the quarterback room last year? Like, come on. Sometimes, we starve to death. You give somebody a piece of bread, and now you complaining because it ain't steak. I have an issue with that. Giant fans, look, right now we have no ground to be picky. Let's get what we get. Russell Wilson is a serviceable quarterback.
I think the reason that Giants fans are upset is number one, it's New York, right? And you guys have not been in contention for quite some time. And right now, what doesn't help, and what you said about Joe Sheen and Dable being on their last legs, one of the biggest criticisms, and we keep on bringing it up, is the fact is that Saquon was let go to keep Danny Dimes. And it doesn't help that Saquon left to go to your competitor, not only have a great season, stay healthy, but then win a championship. This season, you go into it, you don't expect, I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, the Eagles are the favorite coming into the season, and you still have the Commanders to also compete with, who are just right there as well. I don't see you guys winning that division or even going into the playoffs. But what you want to see is promise. You want to see that this team can play. You want to see neighbors grow. You want to see if you guys end up drafting, that quarterback, whether it be Cam Ward, Shador Sanders, whoever that is, that they're learning under somebody because they have kind of similar play styles. Shador Sanders is not the running quarterback like Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
He
he's not as mobile as I thought he was. I don't know why I thought he was. He's not. He's not.
It's one of those things that you think. You just look at the build and you think maybe he's going to
Yeah.
be running around a lot, but he's not. And if anything, the guy has studied a lot from Tom Brady. Tom Brady's a big fan of Shador Sanders. So if you want somebody to teach you how to be the pocket presence, that is the person you want to learn from, even if he is just a mentor or a friend who reaches out to you from time to time. So I think if you're gonna learn from someone who can be mobile, who can move around. Because if you look at the numbers, he's never eclipsed more than I think maybe 700 yards in rushing in a year, Russell Wilson. And Jameis Winston, honestly, I'm just looking forward to the interviews. I'm looking forward because that guy has the career set up for him once he retires. That guy is hilarious without trying to be. Um, but he can learn under him as well, maybe what mistakes not to make. Um, I just feel that when it comes to the Giants, when it comes to the fan, they want to win. They want to be in the picture. They're tired of, coming in and we already know you're eliminated, just like the White Sox probably were. They won. So you just don't want to see
Vicious.
that going into the team, but going into the year. But you have to set your expectations low as far as you go into this year. But you want to see promise. You want to see something from Dable. You want to see something from Joe Sheen that shows and gives you promise that they will continue after this year because they finally got their guy, like you mentioned. So let's see how
Yeah,
everything
and I
takes
forgot
up.
to. Yeah, and I forgot to mention last week that another former Giant now went to the Eagles. That's Giants linebacker Azeez Ojulari. So he has signed a 4-year deal with the Eagles. So I feel like that's going to come and bite us in the butt again too.
They lost a lot
But
of guys, so that's the one thing. The defense on the Eagles lost a lot of guys, so we'll see how
yeah,
they show up.
yeah, they did. They did. So basically, what do you expect? Very early predictions of Russell Wilson. What do you think he's gonna do for my boys, brother?
I feel like he's going to help Neighbors grow
Yeah,
as a better receiver,
Neighbor
and
seemed
that's what I kind
excited.
of.
He tweeted. He seemed very excited about Russell. Being on the team.
And you guys brought back Slayton, so that's another promise. Another guy who's already established there. So I don't know how you guys feel about him, but at the end of the day, you have your core as far as what's going to be out there in the field. Travis would help you if you guys ended up going that route. But as of right now, what's on the field and what you guys have on your roster, I feel like you guys have a potential to at least show promise in the other guys in your team. Russell Wilson is there, and he's probably going to give you his all. Whether that amounts to anything, that's to be seen. But as of right now, I think it was the right call to sign someone like him. You have a veteran quarterback. You have another one as a backup. Let somebody who you end up drafting, if it is a quarterback, let him learn under these two.
Yeah, I like that he doesn't bring much. Yeah, it's a topic now, but he does not. He's not going to bring as much distractions as Aaron Rodgers is. Look at right now what Aaron Rodgers is doing with the Steelers, brother. All the teams that wanted him now have pivoted elsewhere. Your only stop is the Steelers, bro. Why are you holding them up? So I'm happy that we don't, we didn't get Rodgers and we started with Russell Wilson and we get to see Sierra in the process. So I'm not hating it.
Quick mention for my Patriots, we ended up signing Stephon Diggs, so that kind of also changes how I think we may
You
go
know
with the
what? This
draft.
wasn't on the script. We're not
No,
talking
it
about
wasn't.
Stephon Diggs. No, I'm just playing. I was just playing, brother. Let me ask you something, because I'm in a group chat that's with Bills fans, Dolphin fans, and Steeler fans, and an Eagle fan. And it's funny, the Eagle fan talked the most crap. What's your thoughts? Because a lot of people felt that was a lot of money for Stephon Diggs coming from a torn ACL.
I'll be honest. That part is the only thing that gives me caution when it comes to signing Stephon Diggs. We still have Kendrick Bourne, who is recovering from his ACL, and that was our top receiver. If you were to count the roster and go through everything, that was our top receiver. And then our next guy that we end up signing happens to also come off an ACL injury. They say he's practicing. They say he looks good, so we'll see how he ends up turning out. But because of the signing of Stephon Diggs. One, I'm happy if he's healthy, he can help Drake May. He can definitely help Drake May
Yeah.
grow. And that does make me think maybe do they go Travis Hunter and add another receiver to establish Drake May, or do they end up getting somebody in the defense? Vrabel is very defensive minded, so that's where I'm thinking do we may end up going with the Carter route.
Yeah, so
That's
it's funny that you mentioned the Travis Hunter thing because I saw on Twitter, um, somebody wrote basically the AFC East should be looking at what the Giants are doing because if the Giants don't get Hunter, you're gonna have to deal with Travis Hunter, and you guys had another rookie corner that's good, a Spanish kid.
oh Gonzalez, Gonzo.
Yeah, Gonzalez. They're like, yo, Gonzalez and Travis Hunter. Good luck to the wide receivers in the AFC East. So I don't know how much I feel comfortable with the Giants helping y'all out. So I hope we.
We don't play you
You know
guys
I
as
hate.
much.
You know I hate Boston though, man.
I know.
It's got nothing with the Patriots.
Good thing
I
they're
just don't
outside of
like
Boston.
anything
You know
that
how
comes
I
out
feel
of the
about
state of
Boston too.
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't care about anything that comes out of the state of Massachusetts. But what I do care about is our New York Yankees, baby. The New York Yankees. Let's talk about it. It's the Pinstripes Report.
The Pinstripe Report.
All right, yo. The Pinstripes Reports, guys, is where we discuss all things Yankees. And I don't think we could start the season in any better way, any better fashion as the Yankees. As of this recording, the Yankees, we can say that the Yankees have won their first series by taking the first two games in Milwaukee. Obviously, Dave and I, we film on Sundays, being aired on Monday, so we don't know if the Yankees will have the ability to sweep. But Dave, when the magic of production is going to pop the graphic now, so then we'll know whether we swept or we still won the series, though. But the Yankees so far, brother, uh, they look good. I know I had questions, and I know you did as well, about the lineup and how were we going to look. Boone got a lot of smack after before game two. Game one, he had Austin Wells leading off. Austin Wells hits a home run. Volpe, homers, Rodon pitched very well, I felt, for opening day. I got his numbers here. He pitched 5 in the third, 7 strikeouts. He looked very good. I like what I saw. And, then game two happens. Game two happens. Aaron Boone then puts Goldschmidt leading off, and people, I'm not going to lie, I even woke up like, bro, what are we doing? The guy hits a home run. What are we doing? But then Goldschmidt goes, Wells, hold my beer. First pitch, welcome back, Nestor Cortez. Bam, gone. Cody, bam, gone. And then, brother, I'm clapping. Because you said this more than once on this show. Aaron Judge revenge season is on full effect. And Aaron Judge said, bam, gone. Next at bat. Bam, gone. Next at bat. Bam, gone. Oh, you want Grand Slam? Give me that. Oh, you want two-run homer? Give me that. Bro, what did we talk about in the spring? We talked about it in the preview show. Spring training numbers mean nothing to the big fishes. The big fishes eat when it counts. Spring training is there to loosen up the muscles, get one with the sun. But when opening day hits and you playing in front of 40,000 people, that's when your stars come through. And Aaron Judge, the man, the campeon. Did I say it right?
You did.
Brother, Aaron Judge is going to hit 70 home runs this season. Calling it right now. Right now, before I let you talk. 10 at-bats. 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. 500 batting average. What you say about the captain? What y'all saying about the captain? Y'all talking about the captain. And I'm going to be honest. They try to say Juan Soto the reason why this man won the MVP. We're going to get into that in the next segment. But, brother, you were right.
I mean, what like the numbers speak for itself. 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. That's what you want to see from your guy. And it's great to see the home run numbers as they climb up. I mean, he's already at three. I think he leads the league at this point.
Yeah?
I am more concerned when I see the home runs come with RBIs. That's what I want to see. I want to see if you have
Yeah.
guys on base. I want to see those guys come back home. I want to see that because at the end of the day, that's what's going to help us in those really good matchups where we know the pitching is on it and we got to fight and scrap because at the end of the day, I still feel like yesterday was a great game. It was amazing. If you were in the stadium, I'm jealous.
Yeah, I know a few people who were, man, and I hit them
Yeah,
up. I'm like, man, you picked one hell of a game to go to.
right. I still feel like this could be a team that still has to play a different style of ball. But yesterday, you if it's working, why stop what you're doing? And we're about to get into the reason why people feel like that happened. But at the end of the day, this is what I want to see when people are on base. Judge, do your thing, do the revenge tour. I don't care if you won MVP last year. Bring a championship home. That's what I want to see.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I agree with that.
and
But you
then
also, I want to see before I let you continue, brother. You want to have fun. But I also want Judge to. Oh, obviously, it's not MVP or bust, like obviously, but I want him to have a monster season for the sole fact that yes, that Juan Soto batting in front of him, it was at a plus of 100%, 100%. But this is also the best hitter in baseball. All right. Call me biased or not. I put him over Otani. He's the best hitter in baseball. Let's put some respect on the man's name. And I felt like he's been very disrespected this offseason.
and just to cover the game as well as yesterday, Max Fried, you are going to be our ace. We know that you will be at the top of the lineup at some point this season. I'm not too concerned about how yesterday's performance was with him
Mm-mm.
because I feel like if you're pitching that game, you can feel a little bit relaxed. It doesn't have to
Yep.
be as intense as you
Yep.
would be. You can take a seat back once you see that your guys are putting you up like what 4-0 in the first inning.
Yeah. They put up a 4 spot in the first inning.
So I feel like that was just something to keep in mind, but you let that go and you go into the next game that you pitch and you move forward. What I am concerned is with the errors. There were 5 errors in that game, bro.
Yeah, and I think that's big because you look at it where he gave up only 2 earned runs.
Right.
And that's because of the errors. And the problem is when you bring in a Max Fried is a very high contact guy. And that was one thing. He has a really good sinker, and that was something that was addressed when Max Fried was signed. You have to improve the defense. And you could tell there was at some points where he looked a little frustrated. They gave the Brewers extra outs. But as you touched on, brother, I'm factoring everything into this. Where I'm considering opening day, first start at Yankee Stadium, first start as a Yankee. Honestly, yesterday was probably one of the most beautiful days in New York. We got family still in New York, and I know that it was addressed to me how great the day was. So people were just hyped to be outside. It's the first Saturday of the season. That's why I love baseball. I was telling my wife yesterday, I'm like, man, I love baseball because those Saturday 1 o'clock games are just, I just love those Saturday 1 o'clock games. Like, and that's something that the NBA nor the NFL does. That's where baseball is just at its best. So, like you said, I'm not jumping the gun, but the defense definitely has to improve for Max Fried because if not, then we're gonna have problems. So you want to get into this spicy conversation now, brother, about this
Let's
Yankees?
let's do it
Let's
because
get
I feel
into it.
like I feel like it's remember how we kept saying about Copycat League?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
remember that. And we're gonna pin that and we'll come back to that later in the season. Just remember that. Brother, carry on.
Um, so a lot of people have texted me, DM'd me, and everything. Oh, are the Yankee bats legal? So for those that don't know, during the Yankees telecast, Michael Kay revealed that the Yankees, every MLB team has an analytics team. Some people say it's harmed baseball, some people say it has benefited baseball. But basically, Michael Kay explained that the Yankees made new bats. They made new bats in the offseason because the analytics determined that certain players like Jazz Chisholm and Anthony Volpe were getting jammed. They were getting jammed. So, guys, Dave is going to provide the picture of the two bats where A normal bat, the barrel is more like towards the middle, towards the end of the baseball bat. The Yankees hitters were getting, especially Volpe and Jazz Chisholm, they were making a lot of contact on the label part of the bat, which means it's not the thickest part of the bat. So you're not going to get really good contact. So what the Yankees did is they have an MIT physicist on their staff. He's called Lenny. And what he did, he he saw that and came up with the torpedo bat. This bat is called the torpedo bat. So what the torpedo bat does, it brings more wood and mass from the top of the bat, and I wish I had a bat with me, and it brings it more centered. So what it does is it's not adding weight, because a lot of people instantly thought, brother, it's adding weight. No, it's distributing the weight to a different part of the bat. So what it is, it brings more wood and mass to where it's most often made contact as a hitter. So as I touched on, Volpe and Jazz Chisholm were getting a lot of contact on the label of the bat. So what they did was they brought more of the barrel towards the label. So which means where the barrel is, it's much thinner. So now the question is the bat legal? And yes, the bat is legal, guys. The bat is legal. While some objects, the bats in MLB rules, the league only stipulates that the bat can be no longer than 42 inches or thicker than 2.61 inches. It must be made of solid wood and not have a cup at the tip dipper than an inch. Bat grip substances can also go longer than 18 inches from the bottom of the handle. So this is a legal bat, guys. Instantly, people like, oh, the Yankees are cheating. The Yankees are this. No, this is just another evolution in part of analytics in baseball. Now, you look at the Yankees, Kevin Smith, a former infielder, former MLB infielder, he kind of just breaks down everything on how, basically, how they came up with the bat, how Lenny came up with the bat, and the physics to, the contact and that sort of stuff. Obviously, that conversation is way smarter than what my brain could comprehend. So we're not going to get into that. I hope I explained it enough for you guys. But what I'm more upset about is not even that the Yankees are doing it or whatever, or people saying that the Yankees are cheating. I'm more upset that Michael Kay revealed it. Michael Kay revealed it. Because you know why? The Yankees used these bats on opening day. And nobody said a damn thing. Nobody had an issue. Oh, the Yankees weren't cheating then, right? But all of a sudden, it's just a coincidence that Michael Kay, because this game, the second Yankee game where this news was revealed, was Yes Network's first game of the season. So the Yankee announcers. So obviously the first game was nationally televised. Joe Buck, Joe Girardi, and it was great having Joe Buck call a game for the first time since 2021. But this is the first time, this is the Yes Network's first broadcast of the season. So obviously, their announcers are more tapped in to what's going on with the Yankees. And I'm just more upset that they revealed that, brother. Because as you touched on, it's a copycat league. This is an advantage that we had. A legal advantage. Not a cheating advantage. A legal advantage. That now, there are a lot of players that have personal bats. That's whether it's the grip. There's I think, damn, if I'm not mistaken, if it's either Pete Alonso or Mookie Betts, I can't recall. They don't even have the knob. Like it's more like carved where it's more straight, like almost like stick ball. There's a lot of players that have personal at bats. As long as it's within the 42 inches and no thicker than 2.61, pause,
And the weight.
you are good. Yeah.
And the weight.
Do you really think that the Yankees did not run this by the MLB, brother? Do you really think that Michael Kay is that stupid enough? Well, he is stupid enough to reveal the secret. Well, not even reveal the secret. I guess reveal the secret. But do you think they're stupid enough to actually publicly admit to their cheating? Give me a break, guys. Give me a break.
I'm okay with Michael K doing it now because I'd rather get that out the season right now. I don't want to wait until like we are hitting, let's go in 2 weeks from now and we already hit 60 homes. I'm gonna bleep that out. But the point
Yeah.
is, like,
Honestly, this is a hot discussion, so I can
it
see it.
is. But I'd rather it come out
The
now.
recording stop?
No, it's still going.
Okay, sorry guys, we're keeping that in. I actually I got zeros on the clock on the
Got it.
thing, so that's why.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd rather it come out now instead of later on it becoming more bigger than what it is. And it's going to be a topic that's going to be discussed. And guess what? A month from now, so many other people are going to be doing this. The Yankees have been doing this, like you mentioned, since spring training. So this isn't new. This isn't something that we just tried that day. This isn't deflating ball. This isn't like this is something that definitely has been covered by the league. And I'm pretty sure the MLB will come out and issue a statement so that way everybody knows that this is fair game. What bothers me, and this is what comes back to where like it just the little brother thing. Like, why are you so concerned about what the Yankees are doing? Why? Your Mets, they lost to the Astros two
Hold off
games
on
out of this
that, brother.
series.
Hold off on that. Hold off on that. We got a segment for that.
We do,
Hold off on that.
but
Hold
it's
off
just
on that. I
it
want you to
really
pin that. Pin that. We're gonna get into that. Well,
it,
remember,
it
guys,
it
I
is.
said it's
But
a jam-packed
unfortunately,
show. Yeah,
it
but we're
is.
gonna pin that.
Unfortunately, it's not from Yankee fans. And that's the problem.
Yeah,
The complaint is not
yeah,
from Yankee fans, and they have another
yeah,
team to worry about. So if you want to move
yeah,
that, go
yeah.
ahead.
But guys, let us know in the comments below what you guys think about the torpedo bat. It's been for conversation now the last couple days, and the ozone has been getting hit up, and I hope we clarified that for you guys because it's a important conversation. But what super producer Dave was about to get into was possibly a Vega rant, and we may get one in this segment. It's possible. I can't promise you anything, but let's get into it, guys. The amazing rundown is now.
The amazing rundown. It's about the Mets, baby. Love the Mets. All right, baby. Let's go. Get a home run, baby. Love the Mets. Let's go, Mets.
All right, y'all. The amazing rundown, guys, is where we cover them boys in Queens, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no bias on our part. Don't let the Yankee jersey fool you. We cover the Mets and we want the Mets to do well, guys. The Mets not so good start. They lost their opening series to the Houston Astros. Um, Tonight they do have the Marlins, so they got an opportunity to get fat, as I would say. But the Marlins are 2-1, so let's see. But brother, initial thoughts. The first game of the season was already an eventful interaction with between Yankee fans and Met fans, as Juan Soto had an opportunity in the ninth inning of opening day to make an impact, so to speak, and get the big hit, but he failed to strike out. But before I get your thoughts on that, brother, I do want to highlight former Yankee Clay Holmes did get the opening day start. I thought he pitched fine. I didn't think he pitched that bad. He pitched 4 2/3. He gave up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks. Very similar to what we discussed about Max Fried. I do think that as watching Clay Holmes for so many years, Clay Holmes did get a lot of ground balls, and when he's getting ground balls, that's when he's at his best. So he did get a lot of that. The Astros were able to get some cheapies, so that's how they won. But I thought he pitched well, but the big story opening day was definitely the Juan Soto strikeout to Josh Hader in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah, and it's the beginning of the season. Juan
Yeah,
Soto's gonna adjust at the end of the day. Like this is something that I'm not
and he
gonna.
already
Oh,
did. And let me preface this, brother. I'm sorry. I'm cutting you off, and I'm so sorry. I don't mean to do this. He had a good game. He had a very good game. He had a hit his first at bat. He worked 2 walks. He was on base 3 times in that game. So he did have a good game. It's just that strikeout overshadowed uh, you know, his first game as a Met.
right. And this is the thing that, like, at the end of the day, hitters will adjust. These guys will adjust. Like one of the complaints that we saw was Lindor not getting, getting it going. It's the beginning of the season. If anything, baseball has always been known that so many players start the season just bad. It's one of those things that you just have to give it time. It's literally what the third game that you guys just played. You guys have the day off today. You play against the Marlins this next coming up series, so you have
They play the
times
Marlins tonight, brother. They play the Marlins tonight,
as
seven
this
o'clock
episode is
on
dropping. Correct.
Monday, baby. Monday at 5. So we gonna get you
So
guys ready for the game.
I don't know with the Juan Soto thing as far as how his season started. I'm okay. Like it's 3 games you played. Things will adjust. That guy will still be in the contention for an MVP by the end of the season.
He homered the next game. You know what I'm
It's
saying? So it's like, look, um, what I did like with the Mets, and it was a question mark heading into the season, is their pitching. They gave up 3 runs in the first game, 1 run on the second game, and they gave up 2 runs on Sunday. Their bullpen is very good. I like their bullpen. Reed Garrett, AJ Minter, Ryan Stanek, Edwin Diaz, Jose Buto. We touched on it last week in the preview show that I think that their bullpen is going to be their strong suit. And shout out to their starters. Shout out to their starters. Like I said, I did like the way Clay Holmes looked, although he got the loss. Tyler Miguel pitched very well. Second game, Griffin Canning pitched very well. Now this Astros team, their offense is very good. Although they did lose Bregman, they did add Christian Walker. They still have Yordan Alvarez. They still have Mr. Trash Can himself. They have a good team. They still have a good team. They still have the pedigree. So I'm not taking anything away from the Mets pitching. If there's any good thing, obviously, as you touched on, brother, the lineup is going to wake up. In baseball, pitchers are always seem to be more ahead than the hitters. So the lineup's going to pick up, and you mentioned it. I was going to mention it, but you mentioned it. You beat me to it. Pause. Is Francisco Lindor's recent struggles. And shout out to Francisco Lindor, because the reporters try to make it seem like, which is probably the case because we're all human. You know, his wife right now is, they're expecting another child. So they asked him, hey, do you think, your struggles have anything to do with that? And he goes, no. My wife, my daughter has nothing to do with how I play baseball. So shout out to Lindor taking accountability. That's real captain behavior. You know
Boricua.
what's not captain behavior? Is Met fans. And I didn't want to do this so early in the season, but brother, I've been holding this in for a lot, a while now. The last couple days. So would you give me the floor?
Floor is yours,
All
bro.
right. All right. Met fans. Last week I discussed expectations, right? What comes with expectations? I don't know if I mentioned it, but what comes with expectations is trolling. You don't troll bad teams. It's as simple as that. Pittsburgh, you just don't put that energy towards that. You don't see on Twitter people trolling the Pittsburgh Pirates. You don't see people trolling the Cincinnati Reds. You see people troll who? The New York Yankees, the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Boston Red Sox, the New York Knicks. Those teams get trolled. Boston, the Lakers, good teams get trolled. Now I know you guys aren't used to that because you have not been good. Although sometimes you guys think you have, but you have not had a good span of consecutive years of winning. So you guys are used to being the fans that troll the teams with expectations. And I preface this many times. You guys are now a team with expectations where now you are a target to get trolled. And what you guys are doing, Met fans, are gaslighting. Because what you're now trying to do is, well, the Yankees, oh wow, aren't you guys the standard? Aren't you guys supposed to be the big brother? Oh, I don't care if we the big brother, the grandmother, the father, the uncle, or the aunt. You are susceptible to get trolled, especially when you're doing the trolling. You guys led the Aaron Judge dropping the ball at the World Series. You guys had a parade because you won one more game more than the Yankees against the Dodgers. You guys continually trolled the Yankees when they got Juan Soto. And then you want to get your butt tight when the minute the Yankees post Juan Soto getting a strikeout? Now, I'll say this. I'm not one of those Yankee fans. I was not doing that. I don't, whatever. But do I think it was deserved? Yeah, sort of. Because you know why? Because if you're going to troll, if you're going to, as they always say, don't dish it if you can't take it. Don't troll. Don't be all off season banging on your chest, talking crap about the Yankees or whatever. And then the minute you get a jab back to your face, you want to cry and pumped up. Well, aren't you guys the standard? Why aren't you guys so focused on us? Oh, wow. The Yankees won and their energy's on this. Bro, y'all do the same thing. Met fans, I'm gonna give you a thing of advice. And I'm gonna do this to Yankee fans as well. Dave and I have said this for the last couple weeks. It's a long ass season. And I'm already exhausted, and there's only been 3 games in for each team. We are not going to be doing this every damn day. Dissecting each at bat, every at bat. Because you know why? Juan Soto's going to have a great year. Because that's what he does. Aaron Judge will have a great year. Because that's what he does. Yeah, we can talk crap when we play each other this season. We'll have 2 series to do that. And hopefully in October we can do that. But this whole everyday thing, bro, we got to stop it, bro. It's too exhausting. And if you are going to do it, then be man enough to take it. Because y'all are so easily quick to dish it out, but get so butthurt when you guys had to get a taste of your own medicine. And then you want to gaslight it and try to flip it as the Yankees. Wow, aren't you guys the higher ground franchise organization or whatever? Miss me with that. Miss me with that. Because there's something I'm going to bring up on Quick Hits, but the Mets have become that classic promo that John Cena cut, that CM Punk cut on John Cena, where CM Punk basically told John Cena, you've become the franchise you hate. And Met fans, there's a guy that we're going to talk about on Quick Hits real quick that's in contract negotiations that are going really bad. And you guys are already cocky enough to think that he's going to be on your team. And that's Yankee energy. That's don't blur this out, brother. That's the shit y'all hated for years. And now y'all acting like that. So you know what? Keep that energy. Don't dish it if you can't take it. Simple as that. The floor is yours, brother.
This is coming from someone who wants. I want to root for the Mets, and I'm going to root for the Mets. What Mets fans and what they act like is gonna have to be separated at this point because, as you said, it's something to be said about someone who can go and joke about the other team, right? And this is where we go back to the little brother energy. If you were the little brother and your brother messed up on something, you took any chance you can to take that win, right? Whatever it was, whether it was yours or not, you're gonna go and jump that. But then when the brother fights back, it's just like, no, 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 sorry, man, no, no, don't hurt me. You said it best though. Can't dish it. Don't do it. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. If you can't take it, don't dish it.
Don't dish it. Don't dish
And
it,
that's
man.
it.
It's that
At the
simple.
end of the day, this is
And yeah.
this is like it's a long season. We're gonna be rooting for the Mets. This is more so about Mets fans and just getting rid of that stick
And
that
that's
that
some Met
thing.
fans. Like I said, that's some.
Yeah.
I will go back. I met some really cool Met fans when I went out there, Port St. Lucie. It's not all. I don't want to speak that. And I know we got a lot of Met fans that follow us, and we do appreciate that. But I just had to get that off my chest, man. I really did. I had to get it off my chest because, like I said, I actually want both teams to do well. We've both said that. One, it makes our jobs very easy to cover. It makes it fun. I do like it. I'm not gonna front. Opening day was cool. I like the spiciness of Met fans coming at it. But that really pissed me off is when the Met fan got sensitive. And it's like, bro, like, for example, I was sent a video of Jazz Chisholm doing the shuffle. Bro, that's trolling. You're trolling like, whoa, look at your boy copying our guy. But then when I send something back, you want to send a paragraph. You know what I'm talking about, Leon? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, and then you see it on Twitter, like Met fans trying to gas, like, oh, why Yankees saying so concerned? You know why? Because you made it a big deal that you took a Yankee. So now you want to get mad because the Yankees are watching and hoping for Juan Soto to fail? I'm sorry. Did y'all root for Jose Reyes when he went to the Marlins?
No, no,
Did
make
y'all
it
root
better.
for
Let's
Carlos
make it better.
Beltran when he
Let's
left
make it.
y'all when he got
Let
traded
me
and went
let
to
me
the
cut you off there.
Giants
No,
and
no,
all
no.
that?
Did they root for us when we were in the World Series, or were they still rooting for the guys that beat them?
Yeah, that's a great example. Yeah.
Why, if this is supposed to be all kumbaya, then why were you rooting against the Yankees? Make it make
Right,
sense. I'm sorry,
right.
but when it comes to me and my sports team, I could never root for the team that took my team out. I don't care.
Yeah, that's true. That's tough. Yeah,
I don't care.
yeah.
But clearly, you guys had your hatred,
Well, they made
and
it
the
a
reason you
parade. Oh, we
weren't
won 2 games. We won 2 games. Y'all won one. You know, that was the thing. You know.
it's ridiculous. And we're gonna move on because at the end of the day, this is just some Mets fans.
Yeah, this is some Met
Mets
fans. This is some Met fans. Yeah, so
Mets get to turn it
you know,
around. They get, they're
they
down
will, and I
1-2
think
for
they
the
will. I think
season.
they get the Marlins. I might try to go to one of them games. I'm gonna be honest. I might try to go to one of them games. Yeah. So let's move on. Guys, because we got to talk about another team of ours that hey made me look a little perfect. Let's get into it, guys. On this week in Knicks.
This week in Knicks.
All right, y'all. This week in Knicks, the Knicks, they made me look good. You know, I'm baby steps in the pub sub challenge as the Knicks finished the week 2-1. So you know, with wins over, why am I drawing a blank? A winner over the Dallas Mavericks, a loss to the Clippers, which man, I felt like we could have gotten that one. But then we get a win against the Bucks, and that's exactly how I predicted the week was going to go. So I have made some ground in the standings. Not much news in the front of these games, brother. Obviously, campaign. Deuce McBride missed some games, so campaign was starting. Then campaign, unfortunately, rose his ankle, so that frees up the door for our guy Tyler Kolek, who has been
Who's looking?
playing really well. He's been balling. So shout outs to Tyler the Creator is what the Knick fans are calling him. That's very original. I like the way the Knicks played. I think, like I said, if there's any game that I wanted to dissect, is more the is not the Clipper game, but more the Bucks game because that could be a potential first round matchup. You know, prayers and best wishes go out to Dame Lillard, man. With the blood clot. That's definitely going to knock him out for the rest of the season. I can't see him coming back this season. He's on blood thinner, so that sucks for him, and it also sucks for me and my fantasy team because I'm about to be have the biggest choke job ever in sports fantasy because all my players so happily got hurt on the first week of the playoffs for me. So but that's neither here or there, brother. But that was the matchup that I was looking at. How we played well against Milwaukee because, like I said, with now Lillard falling. I could see maybe Detroit possibly moving up, getting that fifth spot and sliding Milwaukee down to 6, where they'll be matched up against the Knicks, which we did clinch a playoff spot. So even if the Knicks, knock on wood, were to lose all their games, they would stay out of the play-in. Um, but that was it. I like the way we looked. So the Knicks got 4 games slated this week, and it's a very yin and yang schedule, I feel like, brother. You're going to pop up the graphic as
Hmm.
tomorrow, Tuesday, April 1st, the Knicks have the 76ers, who they've been officially been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Congratulations, Philadelphia. And then followed by back-to-back Wednesday, April 2nd against the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have been struggling lately. So let's see how that fares. And then Saturday, so the Knicks get 2 days off. Saturday they head to Atlanta where they play the Atlanta Hawks, Trae Young and the hated Hawks, followed by the next day Sunday with the Phoenix Suns. Now the way we record, guys, as we touched on many times, we record Sunday mornings. And obviously the episode is aired Monday at 5 p.m. Now we're gonna we're gonna predict wins for this week, but we're not gonna touch the Phoenix game because of the way our schedule of recording. So we're not gonna factor that into the pub sub challenge. So Dave and I are only gonna predict the 3 games this week, which is the Sixers Cleveland game and that Hawks game. We're not gonna touch the Phoenix game. Obviously, we want the Knicks to win, so we're just gonna eliminate that game as far as the pub sub bet goes. So, brother, um, Sixers Knicks Garden, and then 2 road games Cleveland and Atlanta. What are you predicting?
I got to win over the Sixers. Mm, mm. I got to win over the Hawks. The Cavs game is the one that just keeps on.
Yeah, the Cavs is there.
No Brunson, I'm gonna say we lose that game. So I got
Yeah,
us.
honestly, if we were full ride, I would have went us. I would have went a 3-0
Yeah,
week, honestly. But the fact that I think Tibbs kind of alluded that we're not even gonna have Deuce McBride back either. But I know Donovan Mitchell's been out. He's been missing games sporadically, so I'm definitely gonna go a win against Philly. Um, a win against Atlanta, and the Cleveland game, and that's a back to back too. That's off a back to back. Yeah, damn. So we're not gonna make any ground, but I'm not making any ground. But yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 as well. Like I got to be real too. Like the bet is the bet, but I think we lose to Cleveland only because I think if we were full strength, if we had Brunson and the way Cleveland has been sliding, but I think even Detroit beat them with no K Cunningham. I think too. So, but yeah, but I will go 2-1, and then just for fun and giggles, I do think we beat Phoenix. I think we get Phoenix. So obviously that is not factored into the bet, but I think we beat Phoenix.
I'm with you.
So yeah, so guys, it's been a long show, and but it's about to speed up because this is quick hits. All right, y'all, quick hits. This is where we cover everything around the globe. The hits are so quick, you don't see it coming. Brother, according to ESPN's Buster Olney, he reported this week that the Blue Jays have made another attempt to offer Vlad Guerrero a contract. So it says the gap between the two is big. Is it panic time in Toronto?
Is it panic time? Honestly, I think it's too early to worry about that. If you want me to be honest, I think it's too early to worry about that. That's always the thing that happens, especially with agents. They like to put out stuff out there to their reporters so that way we have something to drive their contract negotiations. Um, honestly, if you really ask me, I think they're gonna get Vladdy his deal. I think he stays. I think he stays.
Wow. Well, Met fans, like I said, guys, and when I was getting on the Met fans, that's somebody that already like, oh, he's coming to Queens. So that's the cocky New York Yankee behavior that they hated, for years. And so, but I gotta disagree with you with that. I don't think he stays because he wants a Juan Soto kind of deal. Now I know, like you said, I think you said Toronto's been left at the altar so many times. They're just like, are there, is that called a runaway bride? I don't know, but they just been left at the altar too many times, and their track record just doesn't show me that they're gonna be able to keep him.
Yeah. All right, brother. So the tension between LeBron James and Stephen A took a turn this week. On his podcast, Stephen A said that if he would have thrown a punch if LeBron had gotten physical during their impromptu meetup. LeBron responded by posting an old viral clip of Stephen A doing boxing drills. Who needs to be the bigger man and squash this beef?
Well, I'm pretty sure, brother, you got the videos as we're talking of Stephen A. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Look, people, and I'm gonna defend Stephen A. Smith on this. People were talking about, oh, LeBron will wash you, blah blah blah. But if people saw what he actually said after, he did say, "I will get washed up by LeBron if that were to happen." But as any other man, hey, look, if a man hits you or a man swings at you, whether you know you're gonna get beat up or not, you should defend yourself. So I have no problem with him saying that. I did laugh at LeBron posting his old boxing clips, but I do think that the bigger man needs to be, honestly, real talk. It needs to be, it got to be LeBron. I
It
hate defending
does.
Stephen A. It
It
has to be
does.
LeBron, bro. He attacked your son's basketball skills professionally. I still haven't found anything that he said about personally about LeBron being a father and about LeBron son. So honestly, Bron, you wanted your son in the NBA, you got him in the NBA. He is susceptible to criticism as every other NBA player. So I think LeBron needs to be the bigger guy. So whatever. But staying on LeBron, he appeared on the Pat McAfee show this past week and made some headlines. He called ESPN Brian Windhorst weird when asked about their friendship, suggested that the 2003 draft may have been rigged in the Cavs to get him, and also spoke about Michael Jordan, saying that he hopes for a better relationship with MJ, though MJ may not want to speak with LeBron until he retires. Brother, what do you make of all this? Because LeBron made some big news while he was on the Pat McAfee show.
When it comes to the Brian Windhorst thing, I mean, wasn't it reported that he was one of like the closest reporters to LeBron? So I don't know
Mm.
where the weird thing comes from. I don't know.
I think
Maybe it's
maybe he's saying that Windhorst fabricated made it bigger than what it is, their relationship, but yeah.
I don't know. You're not gonna try to convince me that it was anything else but a setup for LeBron to get drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers in that draft. I'm
Oh, you're one
sorry.
of those? You think that?
Brother, come on. Come
All
on.
right.
Sometimes things just happen. Like when it comes to the draft, I'm not convinced that it's just pure luck. I'm just the lottery fucking oh my God, I keep cursing. The lottery sucks. The system sucks. And you're not gonna convince me otherwise that it wasn't set up for LeBron to go to that team. I'm sorry. When it comes
Yeah, it's
to
kind of like the Patrick Ewing envelope thing.
when
Yeah,
it comes to
there's a
him and
theory about that. Do
MJ,
you know that? Do you know about the theory about the Patrick Ewing
go for it.
envelope theory?
Go for it.
All right, so before they did the ping pong balls, they would do like a lottery kind of thing with envelopes. So apparently the theory is that they froze the Knicks envelope. So when David Stern was putting his hand in the reach for the envelopes, he knew which one would be the Knicks. Some people said it was bent, the corner was bent. Some people thought that the envelope was actually frozen. So people think that's how the NBA set up where they would get able to get the number one pick and draft Patrick Ewing. So, that's a theory that's never been proven.
Yeah. And I mean at this point, can you even prove it? It's whatever at this point.
Yeah, David Stern is dead. Like, yeah, it's like really like, yeah, it's
History's
no
happened. He
way.
was there. He didn't win anything
Yeah,
when his first thing. He left. He came back. He won a championship. Blah 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 blah. As far as
yeah.
MJ goes, like I don't know if that relationship even needs to happen at this point. They're always going to put them against each other, and that's more so people. I don't know how MJ treats it. I don't know how LeBron treats it in their personal lives when it comes to each other. But that's always going to be the thing. They're going to be against each other. Get over it. You're about to retire any day now, so maybe your relationship can flourish with Jordan. Go make your money.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, brother. This week, the Memphis Grizzlies fire their head coach, Taylor Jenkins, 10 games before the start of the NBA playoff.
That's crazy.
Is this the right
That's
move?
crazy. Apparently, I guess it is for them. I guess maybe that we've never seen anything like this before. Apparently, I guess he was having issues. I know supposedly he was having issues with John Morant, and John Morant didn't like the way the offense was, the game planning for the offense. I don't know what it is, but clearly it was enough to fire the head coach 10 games before the start of the postseason, which is insane. So their assistant coach is going to be taking over. And what I found more stupid about the situation is that you got Knicks fans talking about, well, why can't we do the same thing with Thibodeau? Bro, it's stupid. I think Taylor Jenkins is a very good coach, and he will be coaching another team next season. Um, and maybe that was a blessing in disguise for him because Memphis looks like a hot mess. I like you got Baines and you got teammates arguing about defense and not playing hard enough and that sort of thing. So maybe that was a blessing in disguise, but it's very weird behavior to see. Um, you know, having a coach being fired 10 games before this postseason, but
That you're going to. That
yeah,
you're
that you're
going
going
to the
to because
playoffs.
they're in the playoffs. They're a top five team in the West, so it's very interesting. So as one coach leaves, there's one coach staying. As Colorado Buffaloes and Coach Prime Deion Sanders have agreed to a record-breaking 5-year, $54 million contract, making Coach Prime one of the highest-paid coaches in the league. Brother, how are we feeling about that?
Brother, it is interesting. You know, a lot of people, especially who are really into college football, will say that this man is being overpaid. He is all hype. And a lot of the rumors that happened during the offseason for the NFL was that Coach Prime was going to be the new Dallas head coach, and maybe that was something to help drive that number up for him so he can resign. He has one of the biggest contracts in the Big 12. I I like how Prime is when it comes to his kids and how he's trying to implement them and, make them become men. Um, and especially black men. This is a world that definitely can be hard on someone, and it's not. A lot of people will take it as a political stance, but at the end of the day, those are the facts, and it's a little bit harder for a black man to live in this world than it is for someone else of non-color. So when it comes to that aspect, I respect Prime. I just feel like when you get paid that money, you have to produce.
Yeah.
You just have to.
He's changed the culture though in that school.
He
He made
definitely
it big
has.
time. And when it comes to NCAA, these schools make
Bank.
millions, maybe even billions of dollars off students and coaches or whatever, that get your money. I don't feel bad for these schools. Prime did what he got to do, but I also think, and let me just touch on this really quickly, he's going to be making 10 million the first 2 years of the contract, 11 million the next two, and then the final year, the 5 year deal, he's going to make 12 million. I don't think this keeps him in Buffalo though. I think this is the precursor to the NFL. Like, brother, I got $10 million in college. You want me to coach your professional team? You gonna have to put that 20. So Coach Prime knows what he's doing, and as he touched on, he's raising men to boys, from boys to men, in that program. So shout outs to Coach Prime doing that. I'm with that.
All right. So, staying on the NFL. The NFL just banned a no swipe celebration, calling it a violent gesture. Are we upset at this?
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even know that's what it was. You know what I really thought it was? I thought it was a drug, like a drug reference. That's what I thought it was. So honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I'm caught in between with these. Like, these celebrations are something that you know, it's fun. I know the NFL, the no fun league, they're just eliminating things that make it fun. But I also know that kids watch sports. Kids mimic a lot. And I remember there was an era, I remember like in 2010, maybe a little bit before that, where kids were copying 3-point celebrations in the NBA, and I remember James Harden, J.R. Smith, a lot of them were doing, they were more like blood signs, you know what I mean? Like, and gang related signs. So, the last thing you want to do as a kid, mimicking that in the park, and then you got some stupid clown that can't tell the difference that a kid is mimicking, a Steph Curry or this thing, and they think, oh, well, you throwing up a set. So, although like it may seem like a no fun kind of thing, I'm on board with it if it definitely has any ties to any gang relation or anything like that or any violent gesture. I'm over with it. I don't want kids mimicking that. Like I said, I teach my niece how to do the Brunson, and I also looked into that to make sure that she's not doing anything that's offensive. Like, you know what I mean? So, I'm with that. I'm with it. If it's has anything to do with that, I'm with it, brother. I'm with it. What about you? What do you feel about that quickly?
I hear your point, and I wasn't thinking about that when it comes to the kids. We are kids who grew up from the Attitude Era when it comes to wrestling, and we were telling teachers to suck it.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, wrestling at that time wasn't meant for kids. Sports can be watched by
Yeah.
everybody. So that's a different thing, and I don't know how to feel about that. I don't have kids myself, so I can't even speak to that as well. But I understand where that point you bring up. I just think the NFL has bigger problems when it comes to like
Right.
violence, especially violence
Yeah.
against women. That needs to be touched on better than it
Yeah.
does, about celebrations. Like, fine, eliminate that, but maybe make the rules harder for men who put their hands on women and do other stuff.
Valid point. Very valid point. Very, very, very valid point. All right, this is the last one on quick hits, and I couldn't come up with a better one than this, brother. Oh my God, the Marvel released the full cast list of the upcoming Avengers Doomsday movie with major stars like Paul Rudd, Tom Hiddleston, and Chris Hemsworth, and Robert Downey Jr. Just to name a few, that's going to be headlined with many more names rumored to be announced. Brother, you have the graphic now of every actor. It's so many that's been officially casted. um, how hype are we all for Doomsday?
I'm super hype. I am very hype. There's still two movies to go in the Marvel slate for this year, but I am very hyped for Doomsday. And there's still names to be revealed, right? Like I know that one of the things they can't do is I think they can't mention Tom Holland because of the Sony contract or whatever, but there's a good
Yeah,
chance that Spider-Man's in that movie as well. And names to not be revealed because at the end of the day, this is something that me and you always say. If Marvel is willing to give away this information, that means there's more to be revealed.
they got something bigger. Yup.
There's
Yeah.
something more to be revealed, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of, if not all, of the original six Avengers end up coming out. We already know that Tony Stark's going to be in there. We already know that Thor's going to be there. So maybe we get a Captain America, maybe we get a Elseworld Natasha or something. Just yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very
Yo,
excited.
wait, a Marvel. Yeah.
You know something I have to bring up real quick? I know this is quick hits, but it's just interesting. So it's funny with this phase that has been happening with Phase 4. And a lot of people feel like it's been a drop off since Endgame. I find it interesting that the clip with at the end of the Marvels with Beast and what's her name again? Off
Maria
the top,
Rambo. Maria
Maria
Rambo.
Rambo. That clip is more important to Doomsday than anything else so far
Yes.
in this
Yes.
thing. You know, you're about to
Yes.
eliminate Kang, so that doesn't matter anymore, and that's just eliminated. And Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, that sets it up as well. But up to this point, that clip at the end of the Marvels is the most important thing that's happened so far. That's very interesting.
Yeah, and Kelsey Grammer, who played Beast in the X-Men series, the X-Men movies back in the day, he cameoed for that part, and he is one of the cast members that has been officially announced. So that's big. Um, man, I just hope that by next year, when advanced tickets go on sale, it doesn't go as crazy as Endgame did, because that was stressful. But I'm excited, man, and just while we're on the Marvel topic really fast, shout outs, oh man, Daredevil was fire. So for you guys that haven't watched it yet, tap into that. Daredevil is fire. So
Brother, real
guys,
quick, before we go, real quick, did you ever
right.
backtrack on Daredevil? The
No,
old
I didn't.
stuff?
I'm gonna be honest. You know why I didn't? Because, bro, I'm not about to sit and watch 3 seasons of that, 2 seasons of Deadpool. Shout outs to New
Oh
Rockstar.
no, sure.
Shout outs to Screen Crush. They had the craziest breakdown recaps of the seasons. I watched that, but I do know enough of Deadpool to catch on to
Daredevil.
some of the little. I mean, yeah. Who did I say? Deadpool. Yeah. Daredevil to know what's going on. So I did do that. I was
It's
not
more
gonna
so it's more so
rewatch.
for your viewing pleasure. If you were willing to go back and
Yeah.
watch The Sopranos, I'm telling you, watch Daredevil.
Ah,
I'm
let's
gonna
talk
get you on
about
that
and
one.
Tony
You
like
watched an
that.
old show, you
Let's
can go
talk
and watch
about
Daredevil.
Tony like that. Speaking of old series, I'm about to start watching The Wire, so I'm
So
I'm about
please
to
give
get tapped
Daredevil a
into
try.
that. I'm
Give
about to get
Daredevil a
tapped
try.
into that.
Guys, comment in the chat.
Whatever, we ending the
Let
show right
Omar know he
now.
needs to watch Daredevil.
We ending this show right now. You ain't about to be coming at me talking about what shows I should be watching. I do want to watch it, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. All right, y'all. So you know we can't end the episode without sharing you guys a highlight of the week. So let's get into it.
He's on fire!
All right, yo. The highlight of the week is it? Can we consider it a highlight? Basically, is the last 12 seconds of the Chicago Bulls Los Angeles Laker game, where a lot of stuff was happening. Lakers, I believe, were up by one. Were up by like five, I believe it was. Bulls get a Bulls get a three. Then they come in, get the steal, get the three, take the lead. The Lakers go and take the lead. But basically, it ultimately ended with Josh Giddey hitting a half court buzzer beating three. And you know what I love about the most is the video that you're gonna be playing, brother. Got that Laker fan with the glasses and the hat. He's just like instant meme. In the oh man, but shout out. I know he your favorite player, Josh Giddey. Um, Dave has been one to get on Giddey, throw little jabs
Mister
on Josh Giddey on the
Mister Hide Your
ozone.
Kids.
But but you know, this is why honestly I don't want to make this a big segment. This is why the whole Knicks narrative about beating good teams is just garbage. The Bulls are 2-0 against the Lakers. Like it happened. It happened. Lakers came off a back to back. They had their buzzer beating win against Indiana before that. It happens. It happens. That's why I don't think that's a big story. But shout out to the Chicago Bulls. They've been playing really well lately, and that was a heck of a play. And they don't have anything to be celebrated this season, but they can celebrate that they've been on the highlight of the week here in the Ozone. So, guys, we want to thank you guys so much. This has been a jam-packed show. A lot had to be said, guys, but a lot of conversation could be had as well. Guys, what's your thoughts on the torpedo bats, the Yankees? Do you feel like they're cheating or not? What's your take, Met fans? What's your take so far? We talk about expectations. World Series a bust. Are we jumping over the bridge over a 1-2 start? I would hope not. But and guys, let us know everything with quick hits. Let us know what you guys think about Doomsday and what you guys would like to see and maybe what potential stories could be sold on Doomsday. But guys, you already know we bringing in that fire, guys. We are available on all social platforms: Twitter, TikTok, Threads, and did I say Instagram?
Instagram.
And Instagram, guys. So be sure to follow us. This is where you get a lot of updates on the Knicks, Mets, Yankees, everything. And then also, guys, you guys are tapping in now, but tap in with your boys every Monday, 5 p.m. for a brand new episode of the Ozone. Remember to like and subscribe. And remember, guys, that you got friends that have friends that have friends that have friends that have friends, and you need to tell them to tap in with your boys, guys. So you already know it's been a pleasure for Dave and I to throw that fire. And once we stop, we're planning the next one. So guys, we thank you guys for listening, and we see you guys next Monday. Peace.
It's more than a podcast. It's a sports throne. Let's kick it off right. Welcome to the Ozone.